Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Sri Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's class. Today we'll be discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila chapter 7, verses 31 to 32, and the chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya in a Five Features. We're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, there was a request to enlarge the text a little bit,
Oh, okay, Maharaj.
but then you'll you're going to have to,
Yeah, I have to go back and forth, Maharaj. For some reason, Veda base is down, so I had to find another way to do this.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yes, that's why, Marge, I had to go through this. Yeah. They're having some internal server error, so.
Okay, we'll bring it down, bring it less down then so I can see the whole thing. Mhm.
Is that better, Maharaj?
Make it smaller because you can't see the whole.
Is
Yeah. One more.
is
Keep going. Okay,
okay,
there you go.
okay.
Let's see. Even that's even then I can't see the whole thing.
Marge, I can go with what you want, and I can just swing back and forth with the cursor to read the lines if you want me to.
Okay.
Is that good, Marge, now?
Yeah, that's fine. Jaya
Okay.
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Tahagdaki Mahaprabhu Korina Chintan Jagat Dubaite Aimi Kalilun Yatan Keha Edaila Pratigya Haila Banga Ta Sabba Durbaite Pratibha Kinchuranga. Seeing that the Mayavadis and others were fleeing Lord Chaitanya, were fleeing, seeing that the Mayavadis and others were fleeing, Lord Chaitanya thought, I want everyone to be immersed in the inundation of love of God, for some of them have escaped. Therefore, I shall devise a trick to drown them also. Here is an important point. Lord Chaitanya wanted to invent a way to capture the Mayavadis and others who did not take interest in Krishna consciousness movement. This is the symptom of an acharya. An acharya who comes for the service of the Lord cannot be expected to conform to a stereotype. He must always find find the ways and means by which to spread.
Marge, would you like me to read for you?
No, just bring it down a little smaller. I can read it. If you
Okay.
What you did at the beginning is fine with me.
Is that good, Marge?
And still, it's can't see the whole thing smaller yet.
It's
Okay,
pretty sm
now move it to the right a little, just a little. Still you can't catch the whole thing.
Yeah, it's really small, this print, Maharaj.
I can read it. It's not a problem.
Because if I were to go to the normal, this is how it looks.
Here it is. I'll take it from that level.
Okay, Marge.
Here is the important point. Lord Chaitanya wanted to invent a way to capture the Mayavadis and others who do not take interest in the Krishna conscious movement. This is a symptom of an acharya. An acharya who comes for the service of the Lord cannot be expected to conform to a stereotype. He must find the ways and means by which Krishna consciousness may be spread. Sometimes jealous persons criticize the Krishna conscious movement because it engages equally both boys and girls in distributing love of Godhead. Not knowing that boys and girls in countries like Europe and America mix very freely, these fools and rascals criticize the boys and girls in Krishna consciousness for intermingling. But these rascals should consider that one cannot suddenly change a community's social customs. However, since both the boys and girls are being trained to become preachers, those girls are not ordinary girls, but are as good as their brothers who are preaching Krishna consciousness. Therefore, to engage both boys and girls in fully transcendental activity is the policy intended to spread Krishna conscious movement. These jealous fools who criticize the intermingling of boys and girls will simply have to be satisfied with their own foolishness because they cannot think of how to spread Krishna consciousness by adopting ways and means that are favorable for this purpose. Their stereotyped methods will never help spread Krishna consciousness. Therefore, what we are doing is perfect by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for it is he who proposed to invent a way to capture those who strayed from Krishna consciousness. Okay. Omagyan Timirandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Vanchakalpatarubhascha Vipa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. So the business of an acharya, or one who has taken up the service of spreading Krishna consciousness, he has to think of ways to bring people to Krishna consciousness. And social, ecclesiastical, cultural norms will differ from country to country. And therefore, to present Krishna consciousness in one particular way may not always be suitable to attract the conditioned souls. So without changing the essence, they have to adopt certain means by which to attract people. Of course, Lord Chaitanya made it somewhat universal by spreading the holy name everywhere. And that cuts across all ecclesiastical, all social, all cultural norms, goes right into the essence of the principle of devotion to the Supreme Lord, which is not sectarian. And Srila Prabhupada also talks about that. He says that people can adopt their own standard of chanting the names of God according to their own tradition. And that is just the same as chanting according to Lord Chaitanya's direct instructions. Of course, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra doesn't belong to any country or any society, but it's seen to be coming from India. Therefore, there's a prejudice that's based on ignorance. I think it's a Indian movement, or a movement that has relevancy only to a certain area of the world. But Srila Prabhupada has shown that that is not the case by bringing the holy name everywhere and anywhere. And people are adopting it, even people who can't even chant properly because of what we say, phonetic sounding words that somewhat cut across linguistic barriers and make it difficult for some people to chant the words because they sound the same syllables differently. But that doesn't really limit. One can chant in any way they want, as long as they're chanting the names of God. And that's the main point. Here we're talking about something more on a organizational level, how to attract people from different walks of life, different social, political, ecclesiastical backgrounds. And so Lord Chaitanya here is mentioning the Mayavadis. And Mahaprabhu came to Benares and he was chanting and dancing in the street. And he made it a point for the Mayavadis to notice what he was doing. So they would say something, and that would give him an opportunity to speak. And that's what actually happened. You'll see that. In fact, this will be played out in this particular chapter, how he entered into the association of the Mayavadis and using an interesting way to convince them, he actually came out with the actual Siddhanta or the actual conclusion that they were also chanting and dancing. But that's the Lord had that, what we say. So Srila Prabhupada also here, when Prabhupada has been criticized for giving equal opportunities to both boys and girls in European and American countries for executing devotional service. Prabhupada explains it right here in this verse. You cannot change a country's community culture simply by adopting a dogmatic presentation and expecting it to have the same effect it does in other places. So, and of course, there is another principle that Lord Chaitanya came to make everyone Krishna conscious. He cut across every boundary and gave everyone the opportunity to chant the holy names of the Lord. And therefore, women or ladies, girls in all other countries were given equal opportunities to practice Krishna consciousness along with their, as Prabhupada says, their, their fellow God brothers. So this was, Prabhupada said, I have become successful because I've done this. Where others criticize, but here Prabhupada makes the point, even though they criticize, they can't come up with anything comparable or even close to what Prabhupada did. So their criticism is simply what it is. Criticism has no weight, no value at all, because they can't do anything themselves. If you criticize somebody for doing something in a certain way, then you have to show you can do the same thing also in a different way, or maybe even better, but none of them can do that. And Prabhupada made the point that they're the Acharya, and not everyone. This is the point that should be understood. The Acharya has the acumen or the ability to see things accordingly and make the adjustments. Not everyone can adjust things, even though sometimes people think that they can adjust things because they think they have the ability. But that adjustment is just mental speculation, basically. Therefore, either you has to be confirmed by the Acharya or directed by the Acharya. Otherwise, before one can adopt a detail that will support the principle. The principle is to make everyone Krishna consciousness. The detail is how to do it. How to do, and what may work in one country may not work in another country. Just like we see, and people are very much inclined to yoga, and they take up this hatha yoga, and they have many of these programs throughout European and American countries where you can go and learn hatha yoga. And so they have their meetings. So we somehow or other say to them that we also are doing yoga. Can we present our yoga? And we have been fortunate that when we enter, we start doing kirtan, and you'll see these so-called yogis who are standing on their head and trying to hold their breath and can't do it, are singing and dancing and having a transcendental experience. So, yeah, this is one of the areas that we have been somewhat successful in spreading Krishna consciousness. And there's been other ways also. So that's the point, to bring people to Krishna consciousness. You'll see how Lord Chaitanya does it in a very interesting and very humble way, how he attracts the Mayavadis. Because the Mayavadis are proud and puffed up. You can't challenge them directly, but Lord Chaitanya challenged them in a less direct way, and at the same time got their attention by his humility. And because of his humility, they listened to what he had said, and then they were convinced. So this is yeah. But the point is here that no one can simply adopt some principles or some details that are not followed by the standard acharyas. One has to follow. In our case, Srila Prabhupada, but Prabhupada gave us the intelligence with certain aspects of leadway to use our ability to invite people in. But Prabhupada's main thing was the holy name and prasadam. That's what the two things that he emphasized, especially in his last days. Because by his own experience, he was seeing people were not so philosophically inclined. They can't understand this philosophy. There's only very few that can understand it. And even those who read it, and they also hear about it, and they hear explanations about it, they still can't understand it. So, because it takes good intelligence and purity of the mind to understand this philosophy. And so therefore, Prabhupada put more emphasis on the holy names, and he spread Krishna consciousness everywhere through the Harinam Sankirtan. And of course, book distribution was also there, that people would, if they would read the books, then they may be attracted to come and associate with devotees and learn more. But to really understand this philosophy and practice, it takes somewhat of a purity in consciousness. And therefore, to introduce the philosophy, we have to introduce the chanting at the same time, because the chanting will help them qualify themselves so they can purify their hearts to a certain degree and minds, and understand this philosophy. And then that becomes more and more easy, to execute devotional service like that. So this is how Srila Prabhupada maneuvered his way, empowering his devotees to use their intelligence. He said, tax your brain, but preach. Tax your brain, but preach. And so what he means was find ways to bring the conditioned souls in. Of course, the standard way is the most popular and recommended way, and the most successful way is spread the holy name everywhere. That which works. And to facilitate people, we also offer them spiritual food, which is the mercy of the Lord. They also become purified and have an experience on the spiritual level in the terms of eating. And so these two things, Prabhupada really put the most time, energy, and effort in developing these two. Of course, he wanted his books distributed everywhere, and he did the Bhaktivedanta purports. He knew it was a way to bring people in, but to keep people in, it would take more than just reading the books. They would take them to have an experience, and that comes by chanting and dancing in Krishna consciousness, japa also. Okay, these are some things that's interesting here. This is a challenge to those who criticize the Acharya but have nothing else to offer in return. Many people criticize Prabhupada but can't do anything at the same time. So it's best they keep quiet, because they look foolish, as Prabhupada says. They're fools.
Thank you, Marge. Marge, would you like me to go to the next verse, or we can open up for questions?
Okay, we can open up for questions. If there's no questions, we can move on.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing, devotees, and
We
if
got
you,
a question here from Sri Devi. She says she's here sitting in the room, so we can.
oh, nice, wonderful, yes.
Okay,
Sridevi,
Sri Devi,
if
fire away, Sri Devi.
Yeah, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Guru Maharaj, here Srila Prabhupada is again and again mentioning that because he made both boys and girls Krishna conscious, the movement spread everywhere. And then he went on to say that the girls are as good as the boys in spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. But we find in India, this hasn't yet caught up. Still, it is a very male dominated ISKCON. So, what can we do to change this? Or should we not?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you think you're a woman, you're also on the material platform. You're not this body. You're defending this gender because of you have the same gender. So get away from that kind of mood. We practice Krishna consciousness accordingly, and we preach. We give it in some places it's understood, in other places it's not understood. So you can't, as Prabhupada says, you can't all of a sudden change a culture. It doesn't happen overnight, especially something that is so indigenous for thousands and thousands of years. But there are devotees who are ladies who are coming. I was just talking to my god sister just about an hour ago. She's coming to India. She has a whole preaching tour where she's going to preach in different places. And the temples are facilitating her preaching. So if someone can prove that they can engage in Krishna consciousness, then they should be given that. It shouldn't be there shouldn't be any discrimination in that. But as you say, it's going to take time for the Indian culture to understand this principle, or they may never change. But still, even though they may never change, women should have equal rights to practice, and that we offer within the temples. They can come, they can chant, take part in the morning programs, they can distribute books, they can stir, serve, and they can do other things. So that's going on. Mm-hmm. Rishab. Sorry, Anasuya, I just jumped there.
it's okay, Marge, no problem. Marge, please don't apologize. No, you're fine, Marge.
Well,
Rishabhadas Prabhu, please.
most of my Zoom hosts are so lazy, they can't understand when I'm done. But I know you're not like that, so
Only by your mercy, Maharaj. Only by your mercy. I try my best, Maharaj. Rishabha
anyway,
Prabhu, please.
what will it take you to get you every day to do the Zoom call?
Maharaj, probably few more pujaris would help. At least three more pujaris would help. Who are willing to
Okay.
move here and do all the service. I'm good, Maharaj. Then I'll be happy to host your classes.
Then I'll send those Zoom hosts to do the Vajari work, and you can.
Maharaj, is that accepted, Maharaj, in DD ministry? I don't know. I'll check when it's...
These ladies are qualified to do deity worship. Don't worry.
Oh, great. Okay, Maharaj, because if my DD services can get covered, Maharaj, believe me, Maharaj, I will be at your service. At your service, Maharaj.
I'm thinking of ways to make it happen.
Thank you, Maharaj. That's the only thing, Marge, is I just need three, at least minimum three full-time pujaris. I'm good. I can
Good.
think a little bit better and do your service. Thank you,
And
Maharaj.
well, they'd have to be close to where you are too. That's the consideration.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes. And I mean, even if it's brahmachari men, we'll pack them in the room with Damodar. And then they can figure out how to share the space and do the service.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do.
Thank you, Maharaj. Oh, Maharaj, just by telling you, I really feel there's hope. So thank you. I know there's hope.
Well, in Krishna consciousness, if you want to do something, you just focus on it until you get it.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Just
Yes,
don't give up till you get the results.
I have to remind myself that, Maharaj. Thank you so much. I really needed to hear that from you. Thank you. Rishabha Prabhu, you're on it. You're next. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Do you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can hear you, Prabhu. Go
apologize.
ahead.
I'm returning from Sankirtan and I had to follow my brahmachari leader, so apologies for walking. Maharaj, I have two questions. It is a really relevant verse, and preachers are always kind of trying to understand how to follow the instructions and the points you were mentioning in this class. You were mentioning how today Kirtan and Prasadam, this is actually what Prabhupada's formula was, that people are not philosophical because they don't have the brain power and the purity to understand the philosophy. But we are.
I think he froze. Rishabha Prabhu, you froze, Prabhu. We can't get the rest of the question. I'm gonna go to Abhishek, Rishabha Prabhu. Okay, there you are. Rishabha Prabhu, can you try again?
Just you're about to pose your question, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, do you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
My question was regarding the point that prasadam and kirtan is the way to go because people don't have the intelligence and purity to understand the philosophy. But still, we try to emphasize book distribution and giving them the books and getting purified by reading Prabhupada's bija, to getting the bija, Bhaktilata bija, and to water it because. So I'm just trying to figure out how this works because it sounds contradictory.
It's not 100%, but we find that it's the holy name in this age, which is the Yuga Dharma. It's the holy name which attracts people. So to get them in, you can use anything. Philosophy, you can use prasadam, you can use anything. But you got to get them to chant. That's the whole thing. You can't just leave them on the philosophical level and expect them to grow in that way. They have to chant. That's required. So yeah, we still do book distribution. It's important. It's very important. But at the same time, the books tell you, what are the books telling you? That ultimately you have to engage in devotional service. That's the purport of all philosophy. And the essence of that service is to glorify the Lord, and the essence of that glorification is to chant the holy name.
Nicely put.
But you continue with your book distribution, you shouldn't think it's less. It's very important.
No.
I'll put a lot of emphasis on book distribution. But there is that statement, and I'm just mentioning that statement when Prabhupada was talking to his devotees, and he was seeing how it was difficult to bring people in. He said, generally people can't understand this philosophy. We should emphasize more Harinam and Prasadam distribution. That was in 1977, he said that.
That's nice. Thank you, Maharaj. It makes it more clear to me. What is what we are trying to reach. I have one more question, if I may, though.
Yes, go ahead. Then I'll go to Abhishek.
It is based on, it's a follow-up to Sri Devi's question. Uh, as I was hearing these purports, it is mentioned that maybe some things can be applied to get people in. But it seems to me, at least, understanding the mood of Prabhupada and what senior disciples also say, that Prabhupada wanted to actually implement the Vedic culture to the society gradually. So it's not that he wanted to that we all shift towards a modern way of living, but that we actually shift the modern way of living towards the Vedic culture, because this is where everything, our natures are the most engaged. We are peaceful and we can engage in Krishna consciousness more nicely. And it's a Krishna system.
Yeah, that's true. From the beginning to the time he left, Prabhupada emphasized Varnashram Dharma. And this last year, he put a lot of emphasis on it. It's happening. It's happening. Now, even the GBC is starting to become active in discussing this, which wasn't there last year. So it's happening, and everywhere I turn now, I'm reading about farm communities coming up. There's a lot of farm communities coming up. There's another one in the UK that I didn't even know about. It was just mentioned recently in the ISKCON World Review, ISKCON News, another farm community, which sounded really good. So that means they have 2 active farm communities in the UK, at least that I know of. In America, there's a few people doing it in different places, and Europe also. It's happening slowly, but because the emphasis was never there, it was always putting more emphasis on other things. But that's not what Prabhupada wrote. Prabhupada wanted that. Yeah. So, because the social system allows for the spiritual system to develop nicely. If you can't take care of your material life, how are you going to practice Krishna consciousness? It becomes your material life will interfere with your Krishna consciousness. Your material life has to support your Krishna consciousness and not become a deterrent for your Krishna consciousness. That's the point. So the lifestyle that Prabhupada was emphasizing was back to a more simplified lifestyle and less dependent, or complete independence from secular society, which forces you to act in certain ways in order to gain some pecuniary results in order to make a livelihood. We become prostitutes if we're working for the material world. But there's those who work for the material world who can use the money that they make and give it all to Krishna and then engage in devotional service. Then we don't stop that, but hardly anybody is doing that.
That's a good point, Maharaj, because let's say in this verse it is mentioned the cultural aspect of intermingling of the sexes, men and female. Prabhupada did, he as a charya, he understood that I cannot stop it, but if I engage them fully in Krishna consciousness activities, because they are engaged in transcendental activities, they are protected. And so, in
Yeah,
the sense of today's concept, if we say like, we can intermingle men and women because Prabhupada, did it, but yeah, but they were fully engaged in transcendental service.
that's the
And
point.
yeah,
That's the main point. Yeah.
that's the main
Engagement in
point.
service.
So these small differences people don't understand, and they use it as an excuse to do sense enjoyments inside of ISKCON. That's the problem.
That's how you, the people are still interested in something other than self-realization,
Thank you, Maharaj.
which is the only goal for the human culture, human life. Okay, we can
Thank
move
you,
on.
Vrishabhadas Prabhu. Abhishek Prabhu, you had your hand up just now. You have a question? Or has it been
Yes,
answered?
Mataji. Yes, yes, it has been answered, but still, if I can ask. Okay.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I should answer.
It's been
Hare
answered.
Krishna Maharaj.
Do you want it? Did you get
Partially
your answer?
answered.
Abhishek, hold on.
Partially answered.
Marge is speaking. Go ahead. Marge, would you like to say something to him?
He said his question was answered.
But yeah, but he said that he wanted to ask something to piggyback on it.
It's partially answered, Maharaj. So should I ask it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, I want to know your opinion on something, which is that in the name of ISKCON, society called Mantra Lounge just opened Mantra Lounge in our Surat also. So what they are doing actually, Srila Prabhupada says that there should be no sitting together of women, man and women. But what they are doing that they are doing kirtan, and in that both man and women sit together. They dance together in the kirtan and things like that. So is it correct, Maharaj, or is this wrong? I want to just ask your opinion.
Then you lose the focus on what you're trying to do. If you intermingle with the sexes, then the focus becomes less, and then you focus more on the association of the opposite sex. That's natural. You can't get away with that. No one can say that they are not affected by that.
Hope that helped, Abhishek.
The segregation of the sexes because they can focus on what they want to focus on. They do that in schools in India. We do that we do it also, so we can focus on Krishna and not focus on, the opposite sex. That's why it's there.
Hope that helped, Abhishek Prabhu. Bhavya, before I come to you, I'm just going to read this question from Parijata in the chat. Marsh, there's a question here by Parijata asking, why does Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasize inventing a way to attract those who are distant from devotional life? And what does this tell us about compassion and strategy in preaching?
Well, again, I quoted Prabhupada's statement. He said, tax your brain, but preach. That means figure out ways to bring in the conditioned souls. It's compassionate. In many cases, it's innovative. But we shouldn't be like, just for instance, I'll give you an example of something. Prabhupada said, we shouldn't be chanting other mantras that people might be attracted to. We should stick to our presentation of the Hare Krishna mantra or mantras that align themselves with our society, such as Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, or that one too. And so just like there are people out there chanting Shiva and they're devotees, and Prabhupada said, no, we shouldn't do that because we're not worshiping Shiva, and nor we take time to glorify Shiva. And we think we got to do that and to attract a certain class of people. But they'll be attracted by the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You don't need to do that. It's just pandering to their ideas, that's all. But they're not actually asking us to do that. We think we have to do that to attract them. And Prabhupada writes it. You can find it in You can turn to the seventh canto, 15th chapter, verse number 72. 7:15:72. 15 is the last chapter in the seventh canto.
7:15:72, Marge, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna take me a while, Marge, because Veda base went down again. For some reason, I don't know why it's doing this. So I'm gonna search for it, Marge.
All right. You want to continue on with other things until
Yes, Marge, that there is another question piggybacking, I mean, as part two to Parijata's question. What strengths do women naturally bring to preaching and devotee care?
women are nourishing, they're nurturing, they have this motherly mood, which is very supportive. That's why we refer women as mothers. That's they can preach to other women also.
Marge, is this the verse, Marge?
Yeah, you want to read
Okay.
it?
Yes, translation. Narada
No,
Muni can.
purport.
Okay, purport, sure, Marge. As far as kirtan is concerned, the Shastra says Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. One should chant the glories of the Supreme Lord and the holy name of the Supreme Lord. This is clearly stated. Kirtanam Vishnu. One should chant about and glorify Lord Vishnu, not any demigod. Unfortunately, there are foolish persons who invent some process of kirtan on the basis of a demigod's name. This is an offense. Kirtan means glorifying the Supreme Lord, not any demigod. Sometimes people invent Kali Kirtan or Shiva Kirtan, and even big sannyasis in the Mayavad school say that one may chant any name and still get the same result. But here we find that millions and millions of years ago, when Narada Muni was a Gandharva, he neglected the order to glorify the Lord, and being mad in the association of women, he began to chant otherwise. Thus, he was cursed to become a Sudra. His first offense was that he went to join the Sankirtan party in the company of lusty women. And another offense was that he considered ordinary songs like cinema songs and other such songs to be equal to Sankirtan. For this offense, he was punished to becoming a Sudra.
And the point is,
Very powerful, Maharaj.
it's in Prabhupada's books. And when Prabhupada puts it in his books, it becomes an inviolable principle that cannot be, what we say, erased or minimized. It's an absolute principle. Anything in his books is absolute. Anything outside of his books, he said, is up for discussion, but it should also be understood as being also Shastra too. But when Prabhupada said things in discussion, time, place, and circumstance sometimes was understood in terms of what was being said, but not in his books. His books are, as he said, my books are the law books for the next 10,000 years. So that point is there. No Kali Kirtan, Shiva Kirtan, Durga Kirtan, Krishna
And March
Kirtan.
is becoming very common in US, actually. I've seen that too, sometimes among devotees.
Stop it. When you see
Yeah.
it, just speak out immediately. Don't let it go on.
Okay.
Tell the people who are chanting that this is not the way to do it. They may not listen. That does but it's just our duty not to allow them to continue in that way.
Yeah.
It's an offense, as it says.
And we have a very powerful quote by Srila Prabhupada, 7:15:72, that says it all.
Mhm.
Thank you, Maharaj. Bhavya, you're next. You're not audible. You're not audible. Nope. Is it just me or can anyone else hear him? Because yep, we can't hear you, Babavia. Unless you want to put the question in the chat and I can read it. Nope, not audible. I apologize. Probably if you put in the chat, then I can read the question to Maharaj and he can answer it when you post it. Any other question? Did I miss another part of Parijata's question? Let me check. No, I did not. I did answer both her questions. I thought I saw someone else's hand up, but I somehow, okay, there's one more, Maharaj, in the chat. What is one stereotype about devotee, I'm sorry, I'm going to start again, Maharaj. What is one stereotype about devotion or religion that you think needs to be broken?
Say that again.
What is one stereotype about devotion or religion that you think needs to be broken?
Something about religion or devotion that is stereotyped?
Yes, that needs to be broken.
Mhm. That anyone can invent their own way of Krishna consciousness. Or anyone can understand Krishna consciousness without following Srila Prabhupada. To be more specific. If you don't follow Prabhupada, you're not going to be able to practice Krishna the way it is. He gave us everything, and he also gave us the way by which to execute Krishna consciousness. We are Prabhupada Nugas. He is the Acharya. He is representing the previous Acharya, and he is representing Krishna through the previous Acharyas also. So people want to go here and there to get more information, but there's no more information to get. Whatever other information you get is going to be contrary to Prabhupada. So chastity, stick with Prabhupada. His books, his devotees, his instructions.
Marge, if I could ask a question to piggyback this point, Marge, and sometimes I think I come across devotees where they I don't know whether they understand, but you know, we were told to be chaste to Prabhupada Nuga, what Prabhupada says we do, not water it down. And on one side, we hear the Prabhupada, we were told that, and Shri Prabhupada says, to follow the principle, don't change the principle, but the details can be changed. So it's like a fine line, March. How can one really understand that without, you know?
Details can't be changed by anyone, as I explained. This can only be done by the Acharya. I said that in the beginning of the class. What are they going to change it to? I mean, for preaching, you have, as it says, you have to learn to see your audience and bring them in accordingly. So we go to yoga centers and we do kirtan there, and then they become interested in chanting also. We're not interested in doing hatha yoga ourselves, nor do we do it. There's one devotee, he learned hatha yoga, and then he was teaching Krishna consciousness through hatha yoga by aligning each of the exercises in hatha yoga with a particular bhajan. So when people were doing a particular yoga asana, there was a bhajan that was connected to that asana. So he was getting them to chant different bhajans by doing asanas. He's still doing it too. He's in Los Angeles somewhere.
Is that working out for him to bring you to the temple? Or, you know?
The idea is attracting people to chant. And when you get them to chant, that's the first step to giving them the philosophy.
That's an interesting way. Kind of interesting. There are a lot of ways out there, huh, Maharaj? Quite a bit of uh, amazing, interesting ways.
Yeah, but stick with Prabhupada's program and you'll
Yes,
be successful.
yes, yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Raj, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, my question is, recently I had a discussion with Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, and he was discussing about a survey which was conducted in West about what people in general think of ISKCON and ISKCON devotees. So the result of the survey, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu explains in 3 words, SIN. S stands for sectarian. People think that ISKCON or we devotees are sectarian. We are self-obsessed who criticize other sect and put ourselves on the top. I is irrelevant, that we are bunch of sentimentalists who just dance on roads, uh, and and I is for irrelevant and N is for negative. That whenever people are doing some philanthropy or something good, we are saying no, no, this is not the topmost thing. This is not the topmost thing. So this is something which we also face here while preaching. That this is the general perception of people in West and in my college also. How do we tackle these 3 points?
Well, the thing is, because we approach preaching in the wrong way, they get the wrong idea. We don't have to say that we have the best philosophy. We just present what we have and let them decide. Um, what's the I stand for?
Irrelevant.
Well, where is the irrelevance? We're opening temples, we have restaurants, we have schools, we have programs for feeding people and food for life programs. We're in colleges doing seminars with university professors, even in certain, we're going to hospitals, we're going to jails. What is the irrelevant? That survey is just about is being done by the dredging the bottom of the barrel and getting these people to speak. There's no intelligence in that. Look at what we're doing. We got over 800 temples, plus schools, farm communities, restaurants, programs, outreach programs in so many ways. What do you mean irrelevant? That should be thrown out completely. And negative, if you tell me something is true and it's not true, then I'll disagree with you. Is that called negative? We are very positive. If you chant Hare Krishna, you'll be happy. If you eat prasadam, you'll be healthy.
Marge, you're so right because we are so positive that I know in some temples they don't even have a dress code, like we let anybody come to, I mean, in US I'm talking about. I don't know how it is in India, but in US we let anybody come, newcomers and they come and we don't tell them to, dress in any way and they feel so happy.
Well, yeah, we should keep our dress code amongst the
Yes.
devotees, and for the not, yeah, and for those who come, they should come whatever way they want.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
can't tell them what to wear.
Mhm.
That means we're already giving them instructions before we even get them attracted to anything. It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
There's many stories with Prabhupada how he inspired people who were not really up to the standard by finding some good quality about them and emphasizing that, which attracted them. And then after some time, they came up to the standard because they were giving some kindness, some time, some concern, some time. Yeah, we don't blast people with the philosophy. If we do that, then that's completely neophyte.
That's a very good point, Maharaj.
But you have
That
to understand, Krishna consciousness is not so easy for people to understand. So it's easy for them to find fault. This is the topmost philosophy. It's not for people who have no intelligence. You have to have some intelligence before you can even get interested, what to speak of practice. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? Many people come and hardly one knows me in truth. Prabhupada used to say, don't be surprised by who leaves, but be surprised by who stays.
that's a very powerful point by Prabhupada, Maharaj. You're so right.
I mean, yeah, we say no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meeting, and no gambling. They don't want that. They want to do whatever they want and then practice some kind of spirituality and call it, what we say, bona fide. But you have to stop certain things before you can gain your entry into spiritual practice. You can't just do whatever you want and then call it, call it individual freedom. This is the age, it's the age of Kali. Do your own thing, do whatever you want, take up spiritual life, chant some mantras, go wherever you want, do whatever you want, read whatever books you want, and be a nice person.
We'll be stuck in the mode of goodness for a very long time, Maharaj.
Not mode of goodness at all.
Just be nice. That's it. But I hope that helped, Raj. You on
So,
mute?
yeah, so no blasphemy and making spirituality experiential. Is that what you're saying, Maharaj?
Give people a chance by inviting him by what we have to offer. But in our classes, when we speak according to what's in the books, what's in what Prabhupada has given us, what Krishna said. But when you're preaching to people one-on-one, you have to use your intelligence, how they find where they can find some interest and bring them in according to that. But our main weapon is kirtan. And people are taking to it too. Mm-hmm. To say that we're sectarian, that means they don't know anything about us. Prabhupada's never said sectarian. He said, follow your own religious tradition, but chant the holy names of God. He said, we're not trying to change the people from their tradition to our tradition. We're trying to help them understand their own tradition through the eternal religious principles. Thou shalt not kill means, it doesn't just apply to humans, it applies to all life.
I think, Maharaj, that is a quote by Prabhupada where he says, if you're a Muslim, be a better Muslim. If you're a Christian, be a better Christian. Something like that, right, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't out to convert. It's out to make us a better of what we already are. That's what my understanding was.
Prabhupada was asked when he first came over, why have you come? We have so many religions here, why have you come? Prabhupada said, I came to teach you what you forgot.
Which is so true. Yes. I hope that helped, Raj.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
go to the fourth canto, 8th chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
First-
Marge, I'm
first-
going to ask Anjali to help me because for some reason she can get the Vedabas and I cannot. So Marge, is it fourth canto?
8th chapter,
Okay.
verse number 35.
Okay. Anjali, you want to send it to me because my database in US is done. I don't know why. And I will share it as soon as she shares it with me, Maharaj.
Can you repeat, Mataji? 4, 8.
Fourth canto, 8th chapter, and I forgot the verse.
35.
35. 4, 8, 35.
It's down
And
here again, but I'll try.
yeah, somehow it's down. I don't know why the database and everything else is just shutting down, Maharaj. But I'm getting there, Maharaj. 4, 8, 35. Let me see if I can go to Prabhupada's books. 4, 8, 35.
Yes, Sri Devi's got a question. Can we take it while you're looking?
Yes, Maharaj, please go ahead, Sri Devi.
So about this point about Acharya can change the details. The principles always remain the same. Supposing I claim I'm a new age yogi baba or something, and I say I am Acharya Satchidananda, and I declare that women, men, everyone can do whatever they like. This is the new age philosophy, and I claim I am Acharya. I can say anything. So how can one understand who is really a true Acharya? Because
What's the definition of Acharya?
One who.
One who teaches by example.
That by example, yeah.
Teaches what?
Teaches how to love God.
Okay, so if they're teaching how to love God and they're doing it by example, then they're Acharya. If they're not, then whatever they claim after that has no value.
But I'm teaching you to love God through free love.
That's not love, that's lust. What is the definition of love? Love is not selfish, love is selfless. What goes on in the material world is lust because everyone is interested in their own sense gratification. That's lust.
Maharaj, I think I got it up, but yeah, I found it on the prabhupadsbooks.com. Dhruva Maharaj, right, Maharaj?
Go to the purple part.
Sure. Shall I read from the beginning, Maharaj? Or when you want to check and let me know where I should read?
Here, let me see let me see here if I got the right verse. Go to 36 and see if that's it. Maybe that's it. Go farther down. Keep going. It's really about preaching according to time, place, and circumstance. That's the verse, but I can't. I thought it was in this section here. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's in somewhere in this section here, but I'm not sure where it is now.
All right, Maharaj. I
Mhm.
will stop sharing. And Sridevi, I think you got your question answered, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Bhavya, are you audible? Let's try you now.
Am I audible now, Mataji?
Oh, yes, you are. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Gauri.
Maharaj, I had a question. Like, I had two questions. First one is on Varnashram, and the second one is on Mayavad. So, regarding Varnashram, like in agriculture, the tractors are used and many other farming machineries are used. So, in Srila Prabhupada's Varnashram system, can these machineries be used for farming? Like, and if not, then it's totally fine. But if it is to be used, then should we use that machinery which runs on solar energy?
Yeah, Prabhupada said we can use whatever the non-devotees create. We won't create it ourselves, but if they create it, we can use it, and we can use it in Krishna's service. Prabhupada talked about, cars. He said cars are polluting the environment because people are using them for sense gratification. He said, but when we drive our cars, we don't pollute the environment because we're using it for Krishna. You may not be able to have that transcendental consciousness that Prabhupada has, but what he's trying to say is that, yeah, as long as you use things in the service of the Lord, it becomes transcendental. Then people say, well, can we use everything in the service of the Lord? Then you have to make some distinction to see actually if it's actually going to work or it's going to create another problem. That's the point. Mhm.
And your second question, Bhavya, you can go
Second,
ahead.
second question was regarding Mayavad. Maharaj, whenever I go in debates with Mayavadis, they use one weapon which is grammar. Okay, like Vyakran. So, so they just don't agree with any kind of logical reasoning, no matter how much you give them logics. But sometimes they get convinced with grammar. So I was asking for myself. I know a little bit Sanskrit, but should I like get more deeper into Sanskrit and like learn it completely and
If
and
it
use
helps,
Sanskrit?
if it helps in your preaching, yeah. Yeah. If you speak their language, then that will be more convincing. If you feel like you should go that way, yeah, it will definitely help.
And
You
Maharaj, is
can
it sense gratification like to use our intelligence to defeat Mayavadis and
no,
like
no, that's what we're supposed to do that. That's our
Maharaj,
business.
I'm asking this question because like I've been so like I've been engaged in debate so much since last 2 years. Many people they tell me that because you're just defeating Mayavadis and you're using so many logics, this is like sense gratification of your intelligence and not bhakti. So that's why I had this question in
Why
my heart
why
for.
why are you defeating you if you give knowledge in place of ignorance, is that sense gratification? That's for the benefit of everyone.
Right.
Prabhupada, what did Prabhupada do? He did that constantly. He said, he exposed all of the cheaters, the scientists, the Mayavadis, the plan makers, the various types of people from different angles of vision where they would come up with their own ideas and philosophy. Prabhupada exposed all that. Yeah. Before you can establish truth, you have to expose ignorance because people keep ignorance. They can't understand the truth at the same time. Yeah,
And
keep
Maharaj,
the actually
sorry.
Prabhupada gave us that instruction. He said, challenge these rascals and defeat them. That's what he said.
Maharaj, I had this. I also wanted to ask, like, means when I'm defeating these Mayavadis, I just don't know why I just enjoy it so much. So is that also is that also
Yeah,
the-
I'm enjoying the fact to hear you are enjoying and defeating them. That's even for my enjoyment. Prabhupada is happy too, because he wanted us to do that. He instructed us. He said, leaders in our society should go out and look for these guys and challenge them, not sit back and wait to imagine.
Catch them by the collar, huh, Maharaj?
Hmm?
We gotta catch them by the collar, Maharaj.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to be called Lion Guru. He would see the Mayavadis and he'd start beating him on the head. When they would see him walking on one side of the street, they'd change the other side. Of course, you can't do that in today's world, but we want to do that anyway.
Wow,
It's
amazing, Maharaj, amazing.
people. You have to expose the cheaters
Mhm.
because they're causing, false knowledge to be accepted as real knowledge, and people are suffering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Maharajan, I have heard this thing that in previous ages, like 500 years back, there were many Mayavadi sannyasis who actually killed Vaishnava sannyasis because they were preaching the path of devotion. I've heard this from many like scholars, like Vaishnava scholars, that the Mayavadi sannyasis or the Mayavadis they have tried and they have actually killed many Vaishnava acharyas and sannyasis because they were defeating Mayavad.
They physically killed them.
Yes, yes, Maharaj, physically killed them. Even there were it is historically proven that there are many kings like Chola kings. I guess Cholas. They even killed many of the acharyas from Ramanuja Sampradaya.
Yeah,
Many devotees
especially
from Ram.
Ramanuja Sampradaya. That was a big attack on their temple at one time.
Wow.
Yeah, but still, but they were sadhus. They weren't preachers. They just killed the sadhus. That's all.
Yes.
Mm, mm. Thank you,
And Maharaj,
Bhavya. Yes.
can I
Oh,
ask one more question? So
yes.
sorry. So it was regarding the preaching strategy and Srila Prabhupada's books. Maharaj, I don't know if I should ask this because it might be a bit controversial.
Good.
Srila Prabhupada in his books, he mentioned that Jesus and Muhammad, they are like Shaktavesha incarnations. Um, but also at the same time, Srila Prabhupada called Quran and Bible as evil books. Um, and like somewhere he debunked their philosophy. So should we accept this as preaching strategy that Srila Prabhupada called them Shaktavesha incarnations just to preach the foreigners or Muslims and Christians?
Well,
Or
that's for our edification. We don't speak in that way. Jesus was an empowered personality to preach religious principles according to time, place, and circumstance. So therefore, he fits into the category of Shaktavesh avatar. There's two kinds of Shaktavesh. There's direct and indirect. He was direct. He was sent by the Lord. Yeah, so Prabhupada said Jesus is our guru. He said that. For what was the other person you mentioned?
Prophet Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Muhammad. Well, what do they preach? Did you read
Um,
the have you read the Bhavishya Purana?
yeah, like I have read it.
Yeah, so he's mentioned in the Bhavishya Purana, Muhammad. There will be
Yeah,
a person called Muhammad who will teach sub-religious principles to fifth-class men. That's in
yeah,
the Bhavishya Purana.
yeah,
Jesus is also mentioned in the Bhavishya Purana as Isha.
yeah, yeah.
But when we say Islam is a bona fide religion if they follow their own tenets. Lord
Mhm.
Lord Chaitanya defeated or had a discussion with one Patan soldier who was a follower of Muhammad, and he showed that the conclusion of Quran is devotional service to the Supreme Lord based on their own scriptures. A lot of times they reinvent or they change their own. How many times has Christianity changed their scriptures? So many times. So many times. So many editions of the Bible. So what is real Christianity? Can you find it? We say there's certain sects that are more in line with Jesus' teachings than others, such as the Jesuits. The Jesuits are also political, so they also engage in politics. So you have to. So when we speak about other groups, we don't speak like this. We say, follow your tradition as it's given by your scriptures. No, if they can't sanction killing in the name of religion, because the first principle of any religion is kindness to all living entities. To say that they can kill other people in the name of being everybody who is not, following them, they should be killed. That's something that they concocted in their own scriptures. It's not in their scriptures. So there's a lot of changing around. We have to be careful not to change what Prabhupada gave us. So when it comes to preaching, we don't attack them in that way. We just simply encourage them to follow their scriptures accordingly.
Hope that helped, Bhavya.
When you come to Jane, I can speak to you personally about some of this stuff. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
you know deeper about some of the underlying principles that go on as spirituality, but they're not really. Most religions have adopted material principles as part of their practice.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Maharaj,
Bhavya.
I'm planning to meet you in like 5 days. So for how long will you be in Ujjain, and how can I actually like contact you?
Just come to the temple,
Yes.
and I'll be here until the 5th of December.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you,
Thank
Maharaj.
you.
Then
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can speak about other things that we can't speak about.
Yes, Maharaj.
Because
Thank you so much.
in order to speak about these things, you have to have people who understand our philosophy deep.
Yeah.
If you don't understand our philosophy deep, you can't speak about these things.
Mhm.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you,
Lord
Marsh.
Chaitanya defeated the Chankasi based on his own scriptures. Chankasi admitted that his own scriptures were faulty. He admitted that to Lord Chaitanya.
Oh.
That's in that when Lord Chaitanya marched on the house of Chankasi, there's a discussion there. There's eternal religious principles, and then there's religious principles that have developed through the course of time. There's a difference.
So you'll be seeing Marge in a few days, Bhavya. You can get
Yes,
all the
yes.
nectar you want. Very, very, very merciful. You're very, very fortunate. Haribo.
I'm going to get
Very
some
good.
nectar.
Amritanam, you're next.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Haribo, Bhavya.
Very good. Very
Looking forward. Come and we'll give you some nice prashad here. First class prashad. We have the best rasgulas in ISKCON in Ujjain.
Marge, did you say rascals, Marge? I missed that word.
Rasgulas.
Okay, rasgullas. Oh, wow.
Rasagula. Rasagula. This one's in ISKCON in Ujjain. I say that because I have traveled all around the world and I found the best rasagulas.
Wow, Maharaj, that's amazing. Only in Ujjain. Okay, we got that secret out, Maharaj.
It's not just my opinion, it's according to how do you judge a rasagula. So based on those principles, we have declared not my opinion.
Maharaj,
I'm re-
if it's
I'm
possible to bring it with you, that would be awesome, but I don't think that's possible, right, Maharaj?
What?
Rasagullas from Ujjain to US.
They might be transformed by then.
Yes, Maharaj. That's quite possible. Yes, Maharaj. It will not be rasagullas by the time it gets to us.
It'll be just rascals, rascal glories.
I was about to say the same thing. Maharaj Kalakanti Radhika, he's saying, I thought Maharaj likes the rasagullas at the manor. So I guess that's going to be a discussion later on, Maharaj.
Come here and those of you know who the intricacies of a good rasgula will unequivocally declare that Ujjain has won.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Actually, the Kulangana was making the best rasgulla.
Oh, Kalakanti, she's getting a little nervous because she's from
The manor. That's going to be a very nice transcendental debate about rasagullas. Amritanam, go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I can stamp on the Rasgulla, Guru Maharaj, because on my birthday you just stuck one in my mouth. So it was the transcendental one. So thank you for that.
See,
I had a picture of you as well of that.
you're still experiencing the benefit of it, even now.
Definitely, Guru Maharaj. So, Guru Maharaj, on this topic of preaching to a particular community and especially the Prophet Muhammad, I am quite curious about Prophet Muhammad because there are a lot of different opinions regarding it, and I have also heard that Prophet Muhammad was actually the other Purana says that he was one of the incarnation of a demon, and he was guided by Shukracharya to spread the right. So one of the fact I've heard about this, I want to dig into more because this community is definitely a havoc on the earth. So obviously preaching them is definitely a challenge, but somehow I wanted to know about the Prophet Muhammad.
That's not a question I'm going to answer now. It's not something that we can discuss.
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, it's not a point of discussion here.
Okay,
Thank you, Marge. Thank you, Amritanam. Marge, there are a couple of questions in the chat. One is that I'm trying to catch up with the questions here, Marge. Okay. One is from Ananta Sejnag Prabhu. He said, when do we know we should not pursue trying to preach to someone who has not shown any sign of interest in Krishna consciousness?
If you don't know, then you should know. If you're talking to someone and they're avoiding you or arguing with you, then you know, it becomes evident.
Because he said that the standard is 3 times.
We don't force people into Krishna consciousness. We present, and they can take or not take. That's all. That's how we do things. It's not about forcing people. You can't force anyway, because no one will stick to being forced anyway.
And Maharaj, there is a question from Rishabhadas. He says, if time and Gurudev allows, can you explain to us the clear difference between material sentiment for Krishna versus true, genuine devotion for Krishna? Many times from not strict and serious devotees, I hear that devotion is more important, not rules and regulations. But at least in their cases, it doesn't seem like they have genuine devotion based on their qualities, values, and etiquette they are not exhibiting.
Well, then it's obvious. It's material then. It's obvious they're material. It's material. You can't practice devotional service unless you follow the rules and regulations, which keep you from being affected by the material energy. So if you dispense with the rules and regulations and expect to perform devotional service, then you'll be victimized by the material energy, unless you have reached the perfectional stage, and that's different. But anyone on a perfectional stage doesn't talk like that. They're not. Well,
I hope
just idle chatter. That's all it is. You can just dismiss it. The chant Hare Krishna and ask him, what service are you doing? Are you doing any service for the Lord? And then if they're not doing any, you get a lot of armchair philosophers who read a few books, come up with some ideas, and then they think that their idea is worth, delivering to others. This is Kali Yuga. You have to understand this goes on all the time.
Thank you.
Bhaktisiddhanta says if you're not engaged in devotional service, then you're just licking the outside of a honey bottle. You can't taste the honey. Devotional service is the foundation by which you develop all of the good qualities and the knowledge you need. You can realize the scriptures through devotional service, not through armchair philosophy, sitting there and discussing it one side to another.
I hope that helped, Rashad. But yes, I think he said it did. Let me see what he says. Yes. Okay, Marge, there's a question from Rasa Vilasani Radha. She said, Marge, this is a little bit off the topic, Marge, from what we are discussing, but she has a question. Can we drink a drop of Radhakund water daily, and can we keep Vrindavan dust on the altar?
Why not?
Because she says that she has heard in some places that we should not drink Radhakund water or Vraj from Vrindavan, but she has been given Radhakund and Vraj dust, so she's wondering what's the right thing to do.
She's heard from who? Somebody who doesn't know anything.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I was just at Radhakunda about less than a week ago, and someone came over and put dropped some water to Radhakunda on my head. Sometimes we get a little bit in a bottle and we keep it and we use it for our Gopi Chandan. If you drink Radhakund water, I wouldn't suggest you drink a lot. You can take 1 drop, 2 drops here and there. It's nice. What's wrong with that? Where's the restriction? What happens if you drink Radhakund water? You're going to go to hell? Is that what they're saying? Or you're depriving Radhakund of some water, is that it?
That's pure mercy, right, Maharaj? Pure mercy.
And so people don't even know. People just speak.
Yeah. Make up their own philosophy, right, Maharaj? That's what they do.
Prabhupada, he knew everything, but he backed everything up with scriptures. Just to show that when you speak, you have to give authority to whatever you say. Ask him, where did they read that?
Give the proof, show the proof.
Yeah. And if they don't know, that means it's just nowhere.
Yes.
And if they say, well, I read it here, then you have to see if that scripture is authorized or not. Or it's just somebody's writing.
Thank you.
The truth, the religious principles are hidden in the hearts of the self-realized. Shruti Sristri Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidi Midam. Everything has to be authorized according to the Shrutis, the Smritis, and the Puranas. You can't go outside of that and come up with religious principles. That's called Gnostic. Gnostic means atheist.
Thank you, Maharaj. Wait, something just came up in the chat. Goropriya, okay, no, she just said thank you for the class. And I just want to make sure that I missed anyone here. And I think we are good, Maharaj. Maharaj, would you like to end with a round of chanting, Maharaj?
I can go for one round, that's all.
Yes, Maharaj. Okay, perfect. Okay, Sri Devi is with you, so I know she can do that. That whole slideshow thingy, and I don't know if Srimati is online. I don't see her. But Marge, we'll start with your chanting, Marge, with Prabhupada, please, Marge. You can.
Yeah, I'll probably drop off after one round and then you can continue with your
Yes,
practice
Marge.
session.
Yes.
Okay, sit straight. Okay. And offer prayers to Lord Chaitanya by chanting the Panchatattva mantra, Jai Sri Krishna. Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees. So Maharaj has left. I don't know how many of you can stay on or how many has to work like myself. But if you have to leave, I completely understand that. We will end the call because I do have a meeting in a few minutes. So we thank you all for joining us and making this a very active participation this morning, a lot of powerful questions. And we wish that you have a wonderful day today. Vanchakaptibhyascha kripasindho bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai.
Jai.
Have a wonderful and blessed day. Hari Hari Bol.
Very
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much.